Today's lesson is on multiplying decimals and whole numbers. After today, you'll be able to fluently add, subtract, multiply, and divide multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm for each operation. First, we're going to look at our key idea for multiplying decimals by whole numbers. Multiply as you would with whole numbers, then count the number of decimal places in the decimal factor. The product has the same number of decimal places. For our first example, we're using estimation to find a product. We want to find 15 and 8/10 times 4. If we estimate, this would be 16 times 4, or 64. Now we're going to multiply 15 and 8/10 times 4. We want to multiply this as we would with whole numbers. So 4 times 8 is 32. We write our 2 and we carry our 3. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 3 is 23, so we write our 3 and then carry our 2. And 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Now we need to figure out where the decimal point would go. And since we know our answer should be about 64, we know our decimal point has to go between the 3 and the 2, so that our answer is 63 and 2/10. Now we have a couple of additional examples. You can pause the video and try them on your own, or you may follow along. We're going to find the product, and we're going to use an estimate to place the decimal point. For number 1, we have 2 1/10 times 3. If we estimate this, we're going to say this is about 2 times 3, which equals 6. Now we need to go ahead and multiply. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 2 is 6. We know our answer should be about 6, so our decimal is going to be between the 6 and the 3 because that would give us an answer of 6 and 3/10. Now for number 2, we have 19 and 6/10 times 2. If we estimate this, this is going to be about 20 times 2, which equals 40. Now we need to multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to write our 2 and carry our 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Write our 9, carry our 1. And 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Now we need to place our decimal point. We know our answer should be about 40, so our decimal is going to go in between the 9 and the 2, because that would give us an answer of 39 and 2/10. Now we're going to look at our second example. We're multiplying decimals and whole numbers. For A, we want to find 8 7/10 times 5. If we estimate this, this would be about 9 times 5, which equals 45. Now if we multiply, 5 times 7 is 35, so we write our 5 and carry our 3. And then 5 times 8 is 40, plus 3 is 43. We have one number after the decimal, so we're going to count over one place and put our decimal. So the decimal is going to be between the 3 and the 5, so our answer is 43 and 5/10. This is close to our estimate, which is 45. For B, we're going to find 6 times 91/100. If we estimate this, this would be about 6 times 1, which equals 6. Now we're going to go ahead and multiply. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. So we're going to write our 4, carry our 5. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. We have two numbers after our decimal, so we're going to count over two places. So 1, 2. So the decimal between the 5 and the 4, so it's going to be 5 and 46 hundredths. 5 and 46 hundredths is close to our estimate, which was 6. Now we have a couple of additional examples. You can pause the video and try them on your own, or you may follow along. For number 3, we're going to multiply 12 3/10 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So we're going to write our 4 and carry our 2. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Write our 8 and carry our 1. And 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. We have one number after our decimal, so we're going to move our decimal one place over. So our answer is going to be 98 and 4/10. Our estimate would be 12 times 8, and that is 96. So our answer is reasonable because 98 and 4/10 is close to 96. Now for number 4, we have 7/10 times 4. So we're going to go ahead and multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. I'm going to write the 8 and carry the 2. And 4 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. We have one number after our decimal, so we're going to move over one place and put our decimal in between the 2 and the 8. So our answer is 2 and 8/10. Now if we look at our estimate for this, we're going to get that our estimate would be 1 times 4, and 1 times 4 is equal to 4, so our answer is reasonable because 2 and 8/10 is close to 4. Now for our third example, we're going to be inserting zeros in the product. We want to find 3 times 16 thousandths. So we need to go ahead and multiply. 3 times 6 is 18, so we write our 8 and carry our 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And all we're left with is zeros. So we can go ahead and stop there. We look and see how many places we need to move our decimal, which is 3. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3. And we're going to write our decimal. And in this spot we need to put a 0 here and also a 0 in the front. So our answer is 48 thousandths. Now we have a couple of additional examples. You can pause the video and try them on your own, or you may follow along. For number 5, we're going to find 12 thousandths times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Write our 6 and carry our 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And all I have left are zeros. So I'm going to look and see how many places I need to move my decimal point, which would be 3. So I move it over 1, 2, 3. And my decimal is going to be right here. And in this spot I need to write a 0. And in this place I need to also put a 0. When you're multiplying this problem out, you can also do it this way. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry your 1. And then 8 times 1 was 8, plus 1 is 9. And then 8 times 0 would be 0. And again, you can do 8 times 0 and write the 0 here as well. Now for number 6, find 3 thousandths times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I don't have anything left but zeros to multiply by, so I can go ahead and put my decimal point in. I need to move it over 3 places, so I'm going to move over 1, 2, 3, and in these spots I'm going to insert zeros. So I need a 0 here, and also a 0 here, and then a 0 in the front. So my answer would be 9 thousandths. Remember, you can also do 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 3 times 0 would be 0. 3 times 0 is 0, and 3 times 0 is 0. That will also work for this problem. Don't forget to fill out your notes, and remember you can watch the video again if needed.